Good morning, students. Today we will try to see the important topic in the heat and mass transfer, which is the boiling heat transfer. In this lecture, we will try to see the different types of boiling. Further, we will try to see the boiling regimes in the pour boiling regimes and the flow boiling regimes here. Before going to the boiling regimes, first we need to know what you mean by boiling heat transfer here. So boiling occurs at the solid liquid interface when a liquid is brought into contact with the surface maintained at a temperature sufficiently above the saturation temperature of the liquid here. So for a boiling heat transfer to happen, the heating surface has to be maintained at a temperature greater than the saturation temperature of the liquid here. So as you could see from the figure representation here, we have a heating element which is supplied by the electrical energy here. You could see that this heating element is heating the surrounding fluid, which is nothing but the water here. So the surface temperature of the heating element should be above the saturation temperature so that the boiling process may happen here. The boiling heat flux from a solid surface. So here the heat is transferred from the solid heating element to the liquid here. So the boiling heat flux is given by the relation using the Newton's law of cooling, which we know it as Q is equal to HA delta T here. Expressing in terms of heat flux, Q dot is equal to H into delta T. This delta T is called as the excess temperature, which is the difference of the surface temperature with respect to the saturation temperature. Further, we will try to see the classification of boiling here. So there are based on the presence of bulk fluid motion, we have two major classification. One is the pool boiling, another one is the flow boiling here. So boiling is called as the pool boiling. It is in the absence of bulk fluid flow here. So any motion of the liquid is due to the natural convection currents and the motion of the bubbles under the influence of buoyancy here. So here there is no movement of liquid in the pool boiling here. Whereas the second diagram represents for the flow boiling here. In the flow boiling, a fluid is allowed to fluid is allowed to flow between the forced to move in a heated pipe or over a surface by means of any external agency here. So here, as you could see, this the liquid is flowed in this hot surface where the surface may be heated by some external means or some other source here. So here the heat transfer will take place from the hot surface towards the uh, flowing liquid here. This is what we call it as the flow boiling here. Further, we have another two more classification. One is the subcooled boiling, another one is the saturated boiling here. So if the temperature of the liquid is below the saturation temperature, so then the boiling may be called as subcooled or local boiling here. So in the local boiling, the bubbles formed at the surface eventually condense in the liquid here. This is what it happens in the majority of boiling process here. Whereas in the case of saturated boiling, if the liquid is maintained at a saturation temperature or slightly higher, then the boiling is called as the saturated or the bulk boiling here. So the boiling process is a complicated process. It depends upon various parameters, namely the nature of the surface, the thermophysical properties of the fluid, and the vapor bubble dynamics here. So with this small introduction, we have seen the types of boiling, namely the pool boiling, flow boiling, and the special case boiling is subcooled and saturated boiling based on the temperature of the liquid which is maintained in the boiling process here. So further we will try to see the pool boiling regime in the next video. Thank you.